So I thought we'd start off with some of our Ardex watercolor pencils here. So I'm just going to make some marks with light pencils. This is sort of light blue. We're going to see how working on this tone paper is going to work for us today. Can't really even see that. Let's try this blue. I want to experiment today also with a technique called atmospheric perspective. Now the concept is pretty simple. So what we're going to do is everything in the back and from here up that we want in the distance is going to be a bluish tone and very light without a lot of detail. Then we're going to move into the warm colors as we come down and get more distinct colors here at the bottom. It's a technique that was used by Renaissance painters quite a bit. So we'll see if we can work that out today. It's maybe a little counterintuitive of how I normally work, which is just basically putting down marks. So here we have our colors. We're going to use the yellow ochre, ultramarine blue, burnt sienna, and white today in our palette. So let's get out some white and a little smidge of blue. That's probably too much. I never know how much the gouache is gonna, it's sort of weird to me. Okay. So we want to just put down that's pretty bright, but I think it's going to tone down once it gets in maybe a little bit more blue. So I'm not working with tape today. I thought we'd try it without tape. I'm going to try to stay in the boundaries, which might be a little difficult. I'm never good about coloring in the lines. Not my forte. So we're going to work with some pretty light washes here to begin. I'm going to add a little bit of burnt sienna in here to kind of give us more of a gray tone. Because remember, we want to keep it pretty light and gray through here. I'm going to try to keep also a little bit of the paper because I want the paper to show through. And that might be a weird thing with what we're trying to do with the atmosphere. We'll see if that works. Let's add a little bit more sienna. Okay, that was too much. That was way too much. Now we've got this. Ooh, that's a nice gray. That's a good gray. Okay, so I want to put like a little land shape going through here. I'll try to work with this big brush as long as I can. Okay. So I've added just a little bit of ochre into that gray mix. And we're just going to kind of bring it through here. It got a little green, but I think that's okay. It's kind of a different way of working. I'm thinking a lot about what I'm doing here, which is so not who I am. Let's add a little bit of white to that mix. We're going to get bolder and thicker as we go. So what color do we want down here? Mixed up a little bit of the ultramarine and ochre to make this sort of bluish green color. This is going to be almost our darkest color through here. Again, we're just doing little washes. This paper is doing pretty well today. It's just a sketchbook paper. It's like 175 GSM. So it's not really built for painting, I don't think, but we're not going to let that stop us. I really wanted to play with the tone paper. Let's come in with a color shaper and add some marks. Okay, I'm going to let this dry and then we'll come back. Okay, I've added a little bit of white into this mixture, and I'm just going to put some of that down through here. I sort of like working with this big brush. Like, it keeps me from getting too bogged down in what I'm doing, really. You can see the ochre that we put down just disappeared into the paper. Like, it's almost the same color. So we need a bolder color through there, I think. So I added a little bit of the burnt sienna into that. And hopefully that'll be enough to kind of offset the color of the paper. Make sure we get good shapes going on here. I'm kind of like how that worked. I'm going to bring in just a little bit more of this sort of bluish gray. Maybe. Okay, we got way too many marks here. I think that might be too much. Let's add a bit of white just on top. Okay. Okay, I'm going to add in a bit of this sort of peachy tone through here. Oh, that's really thick. I don't want it that thick. I think the color of the paper has kind of thrown me off a little bit. I'm not seeing it. Mixed up some, excuse me, mixed up some of the burnt sienna with the ultramarine to give us this nice, lovely brown. I think I'm gonna just leave that. You might have to start thinking about, I'm gonna finish this off with our Derwent pencil, so it might be something to think about, like how we're gonna pull that off. I think I want a little bit more of a, let's add some more grays. I think we can keep adding gray. I think this is the feel I want. Let's see if we can't define this just a little bit more. I kind of like that. I went with a smaller brush. Sometimes you gotta downsize, right? Add a bit of white through here, maybe. Oh, that just got sucked in. Working on this paper is a little different. It's not meant for watercolor, obvi. So we're kind of just sort of messing about. I think we need some more white coming, some more light marks coming through here. Let's add some white to this peachy color. Well, that's nice. Okay. I added in a little bit of blue and, I'm sorry, ultramarine and ochre. Kind of want to bring in this sort of greeny tone through here. I wasn't really liking that blue. Wasn't really what I wanted. This green is good. I sort of like working in this limited palette. This palette is one of my favorites because it doesn't, when you mix the reds and blues together, you don't go toward purple, which I'm not a big fan of purple. I do use it occasionally. There are certain purples that I like. I'm very purple specific. That's almost a purple color, that brown. But yeah, I like what's going on here so far. I think we need to dry it and maybe see how it looks, and then we'll come back. I'm gonna add just a little bit more of this gray, white, blue. Through here. Like I want it to be light, but I don't want it to be like nondescript. I usually don't futz with the sky this much, but it's not watercolor. So it needs a little help. Gouache is hard for me. I don't know why. Okay, I'm liking that so far. Does it need more of that gray color? I wasn't liking that part. Okay, let's try this color. This is another mix of ultramarine and burnt sienna. Just a little darker. Oh, I kind of like that. I like how that overlap like that. Put some dry brush through here. I like that. Now I'm not liking that orange so much. I think I'm going to add a little bit more of this white, ochre white through here. And then we're probably almost done with this part, I think. I don't want it to get too bogged down in little shapes. It's sometimes where I run into trouble. That wasn't it. Just want to kind of join those shapes together. I think it's working. I feel the depth, but I'm wondering if I can push it back even more. Okay, now I'm thinking I want to bring just a little bit of this through here. Okay, that was maybe a lot. But I think it kind of leads us. Ooh, that's nice when it mixes with that white. I kind of like that. It's a little bit more painterly. Oh, now that orange makes sense. It's amazing how that works, right? You futz around with something long enough and it starts to make sense. Okay, I'm happy with the gouache portion. So let's get this thoroughly dry and we'll come in with some pencils. Okay, the first pencil I want to use is this Solaway Blue. These are the Derwent Inktense pencils. Man, this paper gets curly. That's all right. This is just a really nice gray blue. I know you can probably barely see it because I can barely see it. But it's going to give us some nice marks, I think, through here. Kind of tone down this white a little bit without painting over it. I think the Derwent, these pencils work really well with gouache. So let's come in with a little bit of white. These are not water soluble, so what you get is what you get. You can't water them down, which is probably a good thing. Oh, I like that. Some pencil marks everywhere. Do you want to bring some of this down? I'm just trying to unify these colors a little bit. Let's come in with, this is the yellow ochre. There's two. There's this one, and then there's the brown ochre, which we'll probably use as well. And then we also have this lovely green shadow, which I think is going to be fun. Okay, so I want to start to bring in some yellows through here. It's strange that all the yellow that I put down, like, it's really hard to see because it just sank into that brown paper, which is bizarre to me. I mean, it makes sense, but it's sort of weird. Like, you think you would be able to see some of it because the paper's not really, it's more brown than it is ochre. Oh, well. Let's come in with this green shadow. I think that's going to be a good mix. Okay, I'm liking it so far. Okay, this is the brown ochre. I think I just want some of this through here. Got a lot of stuff going on here. But I like it. I think it's coming together nicely. I think we need more. Let's put some marks going this way. All of our marks seem to be horizontal. We don't want that. That doesn't work for anybody. I think we need a line coming through here. Ooh, I like that. Is it sad that lines make me happy? Like, genuinely giddy. Well, I like what's going on there now. I really kind of like that peachy color through here. I don't want to mess with this part because I think that's perfect. It's just, I want it to be more back. I don't know. Probably asking for something that's not going to happen. Let me think about this. Okay, I think I just want to add some pencil marks through here. Lightly. It just needs some more marks. It's looking a little markless. So unlike me. This is a HB pencil, so it's a little harder, but it's going to give us a softer mark. Just remember, we're trying to evoke space going back, so we don't want too many lines coming through here. And this is going to be perfect for just giving us a little more definition without being super overbearing. Now, the lines can get darker as we come forward, and they probably will. As a matter of fact, let's bring in a black here. So we got this one coming this way. We might just need I'm trying not to mess this up. I'm thinking just a line like, maybe it's just coming through there. Something a little bolder. Push everything back a little bit. I like it. I like it. Okay, I'm going to add a bit more white just through here. Just thought we needed a little bit more space through here, maybe. And some spots flat. Bring it in this way. It's still feeling very flat to me. Okay, so I think I'm gonna, even though that's yellow down here, I'm gonna add some black. I feel like it needs to just have a little bit more darkness down here. I didn't want to add black paint. kind of just want like almost a line, but a shape. I'm not making any sense right now. I think that little yellow bit is fun. I'm just feeling that it needed more dark, but I don't want to color everything black as she keeps coloring. I just thought it needed another shape coming through here. Maybe even like something like that. Are we happy with that? I think I'm happy with that because I thought it needed just something more grounding here in the front. Let's bring this through a little bit more. Almost like I was outlining that little bit of that purpley blue brown color. Kind of coming through there. Now, does it need more? I like the bits of yellow and the peach. Might want to make this connect. Okay. I feel like it might be done. But then again, I don't know. Okay, I think I want to add another black shape up here. But what do I want it to look like? What shape do I want it to be? I want it to be sort of organic. Okay, but not that. There, that's better. Is it better? I think it's better. Yeah, I like that. I'm okay with that. Rather than adding our normal black lines, I'm just adding black shapes. I think that's really going to define this space. But does it need to? I think it might even need to be a little. Yeah, that looks better. Just a little bit of that yellow showing through. I'm being very fussy right now. This is so unlike me. But I really want this space to work. I think the dark black marks are helping. It's a little different than what I normally make, but that's okay. I kind of like it. Okay, so I think I'm done with this one. Here it is with the mat. A very dirty mat. I really like the boldness down here. I really like the sky and all these marks coming through here. I think this part down here is really fabulous. Do I think that we achieved our atmospheric perspective? I think we did. I think it works in the cool to the warm and the light to the bold. So I think that works. I think there's some fun stuff going on up here. I think my mark making got a little stale. But I didn't feel like making, scratchy marks like I normally do worked in this piece. I think it needed more swooshy, landscapey, windswepty kind of movement going on. But I like it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I want to play around with that idea of the atmosphere perspective again, because I think it's a really cool idea. Maybe not with gouache. I think it might work a little bit better for me if we tried it with watercolor. But that's all I've got for you today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one next week. Thanks so much. Bye.